Can you describe a client who went from burnout to breakthrough with real income to show for it?
I'm working with an amazing client, a private client, and he came in with a thriving private practice, um, Chinese medicine, chiropractic, just serving people, but one on one. And his foundational package that he'd gotten really good at selling was, beautiful. It was energy rich, and it limited his expansion because it was limited by the number of hours that he was willing to spend sitting at a desk on Zoom leading appointments or in person sometimes. So, but he had a really fantastic value proposition to help people have massive breakthroughs in their health and their healing and their well-being, all of that. So we've designed a program for him, a Big Backend. So, he already is doing events, but we designed a Big Backend, and within about 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 months since we started working together, he's got 15 people in the Big Backend at $1,000 a month.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And that is exactly the answer, taking somebody into that place and real income to show for it. We say in Texas, the proof is in the pudding. So
Yeah.
I like that. That's great.
Well, and I've had other clients. So that's like a good kind of example of somebody that's kind of an accessible example. Like you can imagine doing that. And I mean, I've worked with one of my biggest clients ever, was a celebrity, and he was doing these huge events with hundreds of people, but it was constantly living from event to event. So we created a Big Back End from one of his events. We enrolled, 20 people, 19 people at his very first one, and we developed almost $1 million revenue stream just that first year.
Yeah.
So, it looks different depending on the person, what assets they have that they're bringing into the strategy. My whole thing is to look at the business and then figure out, okay, here's a path, the easiest, most graceful, most aligned path that I can see.
Yeah, I love that. And one of the reasons that I hired you and wanted to, just dive in 100% was because of that the big back end model and group coaching. And I had done independent coaching for years. And you have 15 clients at once and you're one off each one, and it's exhausting. But
Yeah.
when I started my MBA Mastermind, which is Masters of Big Achievements, because that's what I do. I help people take their dreams across the finish line. What it created for the people in it was a culture, and the culture of mutual support and going somewhere and having people to validate and to guide, and that was a huge piece. Not to mention that it was steady income for me because I was providing them a service, but it was in a group setting. I really love that, and will be forever grateful for you for the model that you set me up with. So
Oh, yay, Scott. Thank you for sharing.